It's easy to feel safe inside your car. You lock the doors, turn up the music, and drive through the dark like nothing can reach you. But the road doesn't always play by your rules. And some passengers weren't meant to be picked up. It was past 1 a.m. when Jason Wells, exhausted and desperate for one more tip, decided to accept a final pickup request. The app pinged it was just outside a rural stretch near Old Briar Road, a place he rarely saw pop up in his queue. Oddly enough, the pickup pin hovered near a drainage ditch by the highway. No houses. No stores. Just woods and broken concrete. Jason almost declined it. But $25 was $25. He drove in silence, headlights cutting through the humid night air. When he arrived at the pinned location, there she was. She stood motionless. A woman in her late 20s. Wearing a pale blue sundress, soaked and torn at the edges. Her long hair stuck to her cheeks like spider webs. She didn't wave. Didn't move. Jason lowered the window halfway. Jessica? She nodded once. Barely. Her movements were stiff, delayed, like she was watching him process before reacting. Jason unlocked the door. She slid in behind him. He glanced at her in the rearview mirror. She wasn't looking at him. She was staring out the side window. Smiling. They drove in silence for a while. Jason tried to break the ice. So, where you headed tonight? No answer. He checked the app again. Her drop-off was 17 miles out an empty farm road that didn't even have a name. Still, she didn't speak. Just kept staring out the window, her head twitching slightly, like she was listening to something in the wind. Finally, Jason asked, "You okay back there?" Her voice was a whisper. "You shouldn't have stopped." The GPS started glitching. Jason looked down and noticed the route was gone. The app restarted itself. The road ahead looked unfamiliar even though it was a straight drive. He slowed down. "You sure this is where you need to go?" She spoke again, this time clearer. "You passed it already. It's behind us." Jason turned to look. And she was gone. The back seat was empty. The door was still locked. No sound. No sign of exit. Nothing but silence and a faint smear of muddy handprints on the window. Jason panicked. He swerved to the side of the road, pulled over, and grabbed his phone to call 911. As he dialed, red and blue lights lit up his rearview. A state patrol car pulled in behind him. Officer Drew Ramirez approached with a flashlight. "Evening. Everything all right?" Jason explained everything. The pickup. The woman. The vanishing. The ditch. Ramirez looked skeptical at first, until he heard the name. "You said Jessica? Near Old Briar?" Jason nodded. The officer's face changed. Ramirez turned off his flashlight and sighed. "You don't know the story, do you?" Jason shook his head. Ramirez stepped closer. 6 years ago, a woman named Jessica Harper broke down along this highway. She tried walking to get help. They found her car by the ditch, but not her. Jason's throat tightened. "Wait, what?" "Thing is, people still call in sightings. A woman standing near that same ditch. Wearing a pale blue dress. Wet. Always smiling." Jason felt cold. Ramirez looked him dead in the eyes. "You saw her, didn't you?" Ramirez offered to drive him back to town. But Jason insisted on finishing his route. "I need to prove I'm not losing it." He got back in the car. Started driving again. 10 minutes into the ride, he noticed the backseat seatbelt sensor flash on. He didn't hear the door open. But she was back. Same place. Same smile. This time, her head tilted unnaturally far, almost upside down. She whispered, "Why'd you leave me there?" Jason swerved off the road and crashed into a tree. Jason crawled out of the wreck. Smoke. Blood. His legs screamed with pain. He limped through the dark woods, flashlight in hand, trying to reach the main road. But the woods seemed endless. Every tree looked the same. Every path circled back. And then he saw it again. The ditch. Same one. But this time, water bubbled at the bottom. And floating in it was Jason's own body. Bloody. Still. Face turned upward, eyes wide with terror. From behind him, the woman whispered, "You never left." A week later, Officer Ramirez filled out his final report. Jason Wells' car was found totaled against an oak tree. The airbags deployed. Driver missing. No blood in the seat. No trail to follow. Only strange muddy handprints smeared on the inside of the rear windshield. The case was closed. Until 2 nights later. A new rideshare driver accepted a high-paying request near the same highway. Pickup location, ditch off Old Briar. And standing there was a woman in a pale blue dress. Sometimes you offer someone a ride to be kind. Sometimes they've been waiting longer than you can imagine. And if you're lucky, they'll let you drive away. But most of the time, when you pick her up, you never come back.